Hello guys, welcome to YouTube channel. So in today's class we'll be discussing part 2 of the cell. In part 1 we treated the history of the cell, the meaning of cell, the cell theory, and the forms in which the cell exists. So in the part 2 of today's class is going to be organelles in plants and animal cells. What are these organelles? I told us that the organelles are actually found suspended in the cytosol of the cytoplasm of the cell. The fluid in the cytoplasm that suspends this organelle is called what? Cytosol. That has been established already. So what are these organelles? Number one, I'll start with the mitochondria. The mitochondria is known as what? The powerhouse of the cell. It is known as what? The powerhouse of the cell, and it is the region where energy is produced in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and it is the region where ATP is produced, where energy is produced in the form of what? ATP. In the mitochondria, you have what? Cellular respiration. In the mitochondria, cellular respiration occurs in the mitochondria. And you know that during respiration, there are two phases: the glycolytic phase and the Krebs cycle phase. Krebs cycle occurs in the mitochondria, all right, but glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. So mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. That is one. And so it is region where energy is produced in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. In the mitochondria, you also have what? Cellular respiration and Krebs cycle, otherwise called tricarboxylic acid cycle or cyclic acid cycle. It occurs in the mitochondria. That is number one. Number two, you have the ribosomes. All right, the ribosomes are produced by the nucleolus. The ribosomes of the cells are produced by the nucleolus, and the ribosomes are responsible for what? Protein synthesis. Protein synthesis, that is what? Ribosomes. Number three, you have lysosomes. Lysosomes are otherwise called suicide bag. All right, suicide bags. They are called suicide bags because they are able to neutralize dead cells, that is, cells that are not useful in the body. The lysosomes are responsible for the neutralization of these cells. All right, lysosomes act as what? Respiratory enzymes. They act as respiratory enzymes. Now, you should also note that the male sex cell called spermatozoa, the spermatozoa has on the inside of its head the acrosome. The acrosome has lysosome. Lysosome has lysine. It is lysine, or the lytic enzyme, that helps in dissolving the envelope that surrounds the female sex cell called ovum or egg. So I said lysosome act as what? Respiratory enzymes. Okay. Number four, you have the Golgi bodies. The Golgi bodies are responsible for the packaging and distribution of what? Materials in the cell, and they also provide maintenance. All right, the Golgi bodies also provide what? Maintenance. They package, they distribute, and maintain the inside of the cell. Okay, take note of that. Number five, which one can I give you now? Okay, let me give you the chromosomes. The chromosomes. Okay, the chromosome is where the genes are located. Please, a pair of gene that controls contrasting character is called allele. Now, Benin people, they'll be saying allele. What is allele? It is not allele. It is called what? Allele. A pair of genes, you call it what? Allele. The region where the genes are located in the chromosome is called locus. The region where these genes are located in the chromosome is called what? Locus. So the determinants of the traits that is being transmitted from the parents 2, the offspring is under the influence of what? The gene, all right? That's why you have the genotypic ratio and the phenotypic ratio. Then 6, you have the nucleus. The nucleus is what's responsible for the storage, or it houses the chromosomes, the genes. Of course, inside the genes, you have the DNA and the RNA. So the function of the nucleus is to carry these materials, okay? I told us that the monerans, which are viruses, bacteria, they do not have well-defined nucleus. It means that nucleus is their chromosomes are scattered in their cytoplasm because they don't have a well-defined nucleus. Okay. Number 7, you have the vacuole. The vacuole of a cell contains what? Nuclear sap. The nuclear sap is what carries out what? Osmoregulation. All right. Protozoans use contractile vacuole for osmoregulation. Then plants and animals, the make use of what? Nuclear sap, or the vacuole. The nuclear sap is found inside the vacuole that carries out what? Osmoregulation. Okay. Number 8, you have the cell membrane. Now the cell membrane is otherwise called plasma lemma. I told you before, plasma lemma. Now the function, okay, the part of the cell that is selectively permeable membrane, or the part of the cell that act as what? A selective permeable membrane is called what? Plasma lemma. Plasma lemma act as what? Selective permeable what? Membrane in the cell, because it allows it selects the kind of materials that leave and enter the cell. So which means that you can say it enhances distribution of materials in and out of the cell. Cell membrane, otherwise called what? Plasma lemma. Number 8, you have the cell wall. The cell wall in plants is what gives it its definite rectangular shape, and it provides protection. Now the cell wall of normal green plants is made up of what? Cellulose, which is a form of what? Polysaccharide. But the cell wall of a fungus is made up of chitin and not what? Cellulose. Chitin and not what? Cellulose. Please take notes. Cell membrane, cell wall are both found in plants. Cell membrane and cell wall are both found in plants, but cell wall is found in animals. Cell membrane and cell wall are both present in plants, but the cell membrane is what you have present in what? Animals. Take note of that. Okay, what is the next one? Okay, listen. I know, I told us we have the endoplasmic reticulum. When the ribosomes are attached to a given endoplasmic reticulum, you call it what? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. When the ribosomes are attached to endoplasmic reticulum, you call it what? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now this rough is responsible for what? Protein synthesis. That is what it does. Protein what? Synthesis. When ribosomes are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, you call it what? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. When they are not attached, you call it what? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now the function of the smooth one is to synthesize and transport lipids and steroids. All right, so that is the function of the smooth one. It synthesizes and lipids, and it synthesizes, distributes lipids and what? Steroids. You know, lipids are fat and what? Oil. Fat and oil. Okay, please don't take the function of the rough for what? The smooth. The smooth enhances the distribution of the lipids and steroids as well as their synthesis. Then the rough enhances what? Protein synthesis, because ribosomes are attached to it. Take note of that. Do not have number 11, the meristem. The meristem. Meristem is found only in plants. The meristem is found only in plants. The meristem is where you have the cell division. Okay? Now we have three types of meristems. We have three types of meristems, okay? We have three types of meristems. We have the apical meristem. We have the apical meristem, and so you have the intercalary meristem, and you have the lateral meristem. Now, as the name implies, apical, I said the function of the meristem is to enhance what? Cell divisions, because the cells present in the meristem, they can undergo what? Active division. They can divide mitotically. All right, so the word apical means what? Apex. So this type of meristem is found at the tip or apex of shoots and roots. All right, the tip of shoots, roots. All right, that is where you have this type of meristem. And the type of ozine produced in the apical meristem, the type of hormone, I already said the answer. The type of hormone that is present in the meristem, in the apical meristem, is called what? Ozine, which is the most important hormone. Ozine is the most important hormone and is produced in what? Apical meristem. The function of this apical meristem is to enhance the vertical growth of plants. Is to enhance what? The vertical growth of plants. Now, the intercalary meristem is the type of meristem found in the nodes of plants. All right, it is found in the nodes of plants. You know that it is from the nodes you have branches emanating from. You therefore see that intercalary meristem is a type of meristem that triggers the growth of branches from the nodes. All right, it triggers the growth of what? Branches. The growth of what? Branches. Take note of that. The next one, you have lateral meristem. The lateral meristem enhances what is called secondary growth. Secondary growth. I don't call it secondary growth, I'll call it what? Secondary thickening. Alright. Now, what is the meaning of secondary growth? Secondary growth is a phenomenon characterized by the increase in diameter of what? The root. It is a phenomenon characterized by the increase in the diameter of what? The root. And the type of meristem that does that is what? The lateral meristem. It enhances the lateral growth of what? The branches. Now, this lateral meristem is not just the one doing it alone. It has a type of cell, a type of vascular cell called cambium. We have the cork cambium and we have the vascular cambium. This cork and vascular cambium enhance what? Secondary growth or secondary thickening in plants. So please, monocots, take note of this, monocots. Monocots do not have cambium. They don't have any of these cambiums because they do not undergo what? Secondary growth. They do not undergo secondary what? Thickening. They do not undergo a secondary growth or secondary thickening because they lack what? Cambium. Cork or vascular are absent in them. And please, vascular bundles in monocots are scattered. They are not well arranged. But in dicots, they are well arranged. Please take note of that. Of course, monocots, they have parallel venation, but dicot, they have net venation. Monocot plant, they have hypogeal germination. The dicot plant, they have epigeal germination. Okay, that is for that. So I've given us the three types of meristems. Of course, these meristems are found only in plants. Number 12, you now have the centrioles. The centrioles are only found in animals, or they are found in animals only. What do? They enhance cell division in animals. Just as you have the meristem enhancing cell division in plants, they enhance cell division in what? Animals. Okay, what region of the epidermis does cell division occurs? Please, in the mammalian layer of the epidermis, that is where cell division occurs. And the mammalian layer of the epidermis has keratin and melanin. Melanin, of course, is a dark pigment that gives the skin its color, but the keratin is the major constituent of the hair that makes it what? Flexible. That is, provides what? Flexibility. And which one again? I think I'm true. I'm true with all the organelles. And please, I said cell wall meristems are found only in plants. Okay, good. Number 13, you have the chloroplast. I almost forgot. The chloroplast has a green pigment called chlorophyll. The chloroplast has a green pigment called chlorophyll. Photosynthesis does not occur in the chlorophyll. No, it does not occur in the chlorophyll. It occurs in the chloroplast. But if they should ask you, which of the following does photosynthesis occur? Which of the following does photosynthesis occur? They'll give you option A, chloroplast, B, mesophyll, B mesophyll, C, chlorophyll, and D, spongy layer. Please, it is the mesophyll layer in that case, because the mesophyll layer has the chloroplast and what? The chlorophyll. If the mesophyll layer is not there, you have it. If maybe bringing a question like this, there's no mesophyll, they'll ask which of the following does photosynthesis occur? A, chloroplast, B, chlorophyll, C, palisade, that is palisade layer, and D, spongy layer. The answer is not chloroplast. The answer is what? Palisade layer. But if palisade and mesophyll layer is not in the options, it therefore means that chloroplast is the answer. Please take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, that normal green plant stores carbohydrate as what? Glycogen, as starch. But non-chlorophyllous plants such as the fungi, they store carbohydrate as what? Glycogen. Take note of that. So, what are now the similarities between plants and animal cells? That is, what do they have in common? Both of them have ribosomes. They have lysosomes. Okay. Let me not put lysosome because lysosome is not found in all plants. Okay, both of them have ribosomes. They have Golgi bodies. They have endoplasmic reticulum. They have mitochondria. They have nucleus. Of course, they have chromosomes. Of course, they have genes and vacuole. Okay, in plants there's large vacuole, presence of large vacuole, but in animals you have just small vacuole, nucleus. So these are the similarities between plants and animal cells. What about the differences? Now, if you are asked to dichotomously give differences between plants and animal cell, it is very easy. You draw a table: plant cell, animal cell. Chloroplast present, chloroplast absent. Meristem present, meristem absent. Centrioles absent, centrioles present, like that. Presence of large vacuole, presence of small vacuole. Just keep doing like that. You get you should be able to list 5 to 6 points doing that. Okay, so at this point we'll call it a day. Thanks for watching. Then in our next class we are going to be discussing the environments of the cell. That is osmosis, diffusion, hemolysis, plasmolysis, flaccidity, and what? Turbidity. In our next class, we are going to be treating these terms. Thanks for watching, and please endeavor to subscribe.